Hey, praise the Lord, man. What up, America? What up, world? What up, world? Man, I just want to say, man, you know, Rose McGowan is calling out everybody, man. She's calling out everybody, calling out Black Lives Matter, Oprah Winfrey, man, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. She's on a rampage, man. And she's teaming up with Larry Elder, which is, I really don't have nothing to, too much to say about it, but, I mean, it's nothing, I have it doesn't really bother me, it doesn't affect me, so, hold on for a minute, I'll hear my song for a minute, just a little bit. It's, walking out through that open door. This is for Robert. Okay. Stop there for a minute. Now, Rose McGowan. I know that's a lot of the new black media. I'm not. I don't consider myself a new black media. I'm a baby in Christ. I'm a man of God. You did. It seems to me that some of you are happy about when she called out the white folks, but when she called out Russell Simmons, you seem to be a little bit defensive on that. You did. I'm not saying Russell Simmons is guilty of anything, but he ran. He was in another country. I ain't saying he did anything, but it's interesting that how we're gonna listen to what Rose McGowan has been saying. Some of the things she's been saying about she's been calling out everybody. Ellen, she's on a rampage. She's on a rampage, but it's really interesting how some of y'all just eating it up. It's interesting. YouTube just doesn't belong to me. I'm using it for educational purpose. Let's listen to Rose McGowan, what she's has to say about certain individuals. Oprah Winfrey. So this is pretty quick, y'all. So it's about a week ago. Hold on.
This school year,
Sorry about that, y'all.
She's as fake as they come. And just to refresh your memory, music producer Russell Simmons has been accused of rape by at least 15 women. Last year, Oprah pulled out of a documentary that's highlighting their stories because she and the filmmakers apparently did not see eye to eye on that project. And as for her former friendship with Harvey Weinstein, Oprah had said that she did not know about the sexual assault accusations from women, including Rose, only that she had heard he was a bully. Do you believe that she has a point here, or does Rose have a point? Where do you fall?
I want to tread very lightly on this because I do have a lot of empathy for Rose McGowan. She is a survivor who has been very vocal, did not hold punches to speak her truth, and she was silenced and bullied and threatened. She is like a lot of survivors, especially in light of Me Too, who have very post-dated trauma that they have not been able to walk through and actually heal from. So I want to be sensitive to that. However, I think that the anger is misplaced because at the end of the day, Oprah is not the end-all, be-all of everything. There have to be other...
Why not? Why can't she be the, Mother Oprah? She's God, right? To some of you women, she's the, Me Too. She's the one that pretty much responsible for Leave Neverland, right? Remember that, y'all?
People who are rising to the occasion and being advocates and offering support. I think the idea that Oprah would have been able to take down this very strong patriarchy and all of the power structure as a black woman coming up in media, especially during that time, is a bit ridiculous no matter how much power Oprah seemingly has. So I think the conversation needs to be had. People need to be held accountable. But when we start going after people who are with the intentions, because remember, Oprah is a survivor of extreme traumatic sexual abuse as well. So when we start
Allegedly. That's what Oprah says. But it's been people in her family saying that those things did not really happen. But continue.
infighting, that's what the enemy wants. So I want to be really clear about this. Infighting is not how you win the game.
Yeah, Oprah Tory is a conversation that can be had. The much more difficult conversation to be had is the fact that we might have to go back and kind of systematically restructure hierarchies, whether it is in television and movies, whether it's at a talk show, whether it's at a Dairy Queen. When you just have one person that has all the power and everybody, A-list celebrities, going in there on their hands and knees at the height of their career because he is the gatekeeper. Everybody is now subject to this person's whims, and we hope they're a good person. But if they're not, who's going to speak up? Even Oprah has a boss. Whoever is writing, like Chris Rock famously said, whoever wrote Shaq's check, that's his boss. So there's always somebody above you. So until we start to dismantle some of these hierarchies that allow one person to say, you know what, Sam, I don't like it. You're never going to work again, and your agent's done too. So your agent's got to abandon you. Everybody's got to abandon. Until we dismantle that, which is a much more difficult and hard conversation to have, I don't know where we go from here.
Well, you're right. Dismantling power structures is the main thing. I'll just say, I agree with what's the point here for Rose, right? Oprah was very famously sexually assaulted, abused, raped by his family members. She was very open about it.
Allegedly. That's what she says. But I'm starting to wonder about Oprah Winfrey being sexually abused as a child.
The idea is she opened that conversation into sexual assault way before many people did. Like, I mean, way before you ever heard about it. So I don't think going after her means anything or
See how they defend Oprah Winfrey? Oh, they just love them some Oprah.
does anything.
Wow, I thought that was a really important conversation.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, great point.
Now, it amazed me that they gave Oprah, they defended her because Oprah Winfrey's still making money. Now, I'm not here to bash Oprah, man. God bless her. I ain't, personally, she hasn't done anything to me. You know what I'm saying? And my understanding that Rose McDowell is helping Larry Elder. Larry Elder, he's people call him Sambo and Uncle Tom and some horrible names because he's a Republican, he's conservative. He says some things that I don't agree with, but he leans to the right. I don't lean to the right or the left. So it don't even, I really don't, he's not in my state, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have nothing to do with that. But what I totally disagree with him with the whole reparation, he's for reparation, but for the slave masters, I mean, come on, man, that's ridiculous. But this is Larry Elder, okay? What do y'all expect from him? He's dangerous. Some people said that, okay, but let's think about it, okay? Obama was the president for 8 years. Nobody in the black community really pushed that issue towards Obama. People that was in the position to push that position, like the Black Caucus, NAACP, Operation Push, they didn't push that towards President Obama to get reparations. They could have tried to really push hard, and if he didn't want to do it, or if he tried to ignore him, they could have really called him out then, when he was the president of the United States. Then Obama didn't do anything about reparations. Oh, he can talk about it now. He ain't the president no more. But people want to talk about Donald Trump still. But we had a black president for 8 years. Yes, he dealt with stuff that he shouldn't have to deal with, racism and stuff like that. But they didn't really go after him like that. like they did, the everyday black man, as y'all say, so-called black man, and these celebrities. See, these celebrities are really paying, man, and then they come after us. See what I'm saying? We get shot down. That's when y'all protest. When they harass or shoot down a black woman or a black child, y'all protest. Like I said, you protest for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. You didn't know them personally. I'm not saying you didn't supposed to do that. I am not pro-black. That don't mean I don't know my culture and I don't love my culture. But I can't go out here. Can't do that no more. I'm not protesting for none of that. I'm not doing that no more. If y'all can't step up and stand up for Dr. Cosby and protest for him, a man who sent all those black kids to college and y'all turned your back on him and you can't protest for R.Kelly, a man that gave you all that music and wrote all that music for not just himself, Maxwell, Michael Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, who's worked with Jay-Z, Aaliyah. The list goes on and on. Turn your back on him because you believe what the media told you. You believe a blogger from Chicago have nothing personal against the brother, but he don't know some things he don't know. He just don't know what the hell he's talking about. He just rambles and speak about, yeah, he's good, he's smart, he knows a lot of things, he knows history. I give it to that. I give him that. But when it comes to Dr. Cosby, they knew the case very well. But they didn't take the time to study the R.Kelly case like they did Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby. They made documentaries about Bill Cosby, the Cosby supporters. See, I called the R.Kelly supporters too. Yes, I am an R.Kelly supporter. But I'm also a Dr. Cosby supporter too. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I told y'all that. But I gave information. I had a Facebook. I had a Twitter account. At the time, I had somebody help me out. I gave out the information. Y'all think I was lying? I can't defend moral behavior when it comes to R. Kelly, even when it comes to Dr. Cosby. None of these men were perfect. And both of these men made mistakes. That don't mean that was criminal misconduct on either one of their parts. But for some reason, when it comes to R. Kelly, I must see facts. I got to see the facts. Well, the facts is out there. Read the transcripts. God bless y'all, man. May God bless y'all. Jesus bless all of you. The facts is out there. You can follow this, what's the guy name? Some people want to follow journalists. The guy from Courtroom. What's his name? What's the brother name that's in the courtroom? Yeah, he's in the courtroom and he's a journalist. I think his name was Brian something. And he's been giving people perspective of what's going on in the courtroom. Let me put my glasses so I can see. Because I want to find this brother, man. He's there. And he's a journalist. He's not taking Mr. Kelly. He's just going to give him perspective about what's going on. And I like that. I like that. That's cool. What I have to disagree with is with the whole, I got to see the facts, but the facts is in your face. The biggest witness was supposed to have been Jane Doe. I think it was 2 and 5. That's been the biggest witness. I mean, come on now. Let me see if I can find what's that brother's name. What's that brother's name? What's his name? I gotta find it. I don't know if I can find it, y'all. I don't know if I can find it. It's Brian something? Because he put out a tweet. about this court on malicious conspiracy. They put it up there. You know, well, you can go to also a view from Tracy's point. She got it up there. She read the transcripts. Also, Melissa, not what's her name? Infamous Sylvia. She has a reenactment on her platform. They read the script, and it's well done, man. It's very interesting. It's funny to me. I be laughing at it when I look at it sometimes. It's funny. It's like, and also none lawyer. Sometimes he reads it too. Transcript. He's not really an R.Kelly supporter. He's biased. He's not biased. I'm sorry. He's coming from a perspective of he's not taking up for R.Kelly. None lawyer. So to people that support Mr. Cosby, if you want to go to get somebody that's not biased, the non lawyer reads the transcript. So I know some of y'all, because some of y'all want to say, well, I'm not a fan of R.Kelly. Yes, you are. Some of the people that say, because I'm a fan. I like his music. I like Mr. Kelly's music. Some people say, well, I'm not a fan of Dr. Cosby. Yes, you are. I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson. Yes, you are. You're a fan of Dr. Cosby. You know what I'm saying? When the person called it, that said that Dr. Cosby, the lady said she was 15 at the Playboy Mansion. You know, somebody said that's a lie. We all know that's a lie. I don't believe that Dr. Cosby didn't. I already said I believe that Dr. Cosby was set up, and I believe he was an innocent man. I've already said that. And I'm quite sure a lot of people that support Mr. Kelly believe that most of that support R. Kelly, even though I don't agree with them, what they're doing, knuckleheads out there fighting and going like, yes, I don't agree with what they're doing. But at the end of the day, they support R. Kelly, and a lot of them support Bill Cosby. And I know a lot of Bill Cosby supporters do look down on a lot of R. Kelly supporters, and I get it, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, we are all God's children. But some of us, many are called, but a few are chosen. And that's in the that's in the Bible too. You understand what I'm saying? We should all be sticking together. That's what I thought. You know, a lot of new black media ran from R. Kelly. And I remember when I came to YouTube, I made sure I knew what I was getting into. When I started defending Mr. Kelly, I made sure what I was getting into. In November. Remember, the Surviving R. Kelly came out January of 2019. Michael Jackson, Leaving Neverland came out in February. Y'all came out, you lost your mind. Y'all was like, oh, they leave Michael alone. Yeah. I was pretty disappointed. I was angry. And then when Kobe died a year later, and his daughter, y'all, people were angry and upset. I was too. I was disappointed what the media was doing. But it wasn't Gayle King that first was speaking about Kobe Bryant. It was white people, the white media. And then Gayle King decided to see what she can do. Then y'all came out, Snoop Dogg, and then I'm like, wow. I watched everything. But when the interview with Gayle King and R. Kelly, when he cried and broke down, y'all made fun of him. Some of you went back, oh yeah, he did it. His parent, a little parent should have nipped him in the bucket. That's what y'all said. And I told somebody on their platform, the huge platform, a bunch of women, I told them, I said, look, that's what I wrote. I said, look, I don't think what y'all doing, you gotta stop doing this. You gotta stop allowing these women to get on it. Because one of the women, she was not going at R. Kelly like that. But she was taking subliminal shots. But then I said, look, what you're doing, I think you might be making a mistake. This R. Kelly case, I know it's complicated because everybody talking about this video. That video was not what it was. I said, you got to stop doing that on your platform. I said, you're allowing this one particular guy to get on your platform. He think he knows everything. He think he's smart. He got all these degrees and all this and that. But that doesn't mean he know what he's talking about when it comes to R. Kelly case. I said, look, please, I'm begging y'all. If you're not going to defend this man, if you're going to speak about Mr. Kelly, if you're going to speak about this case, at least know what you're talking about. I said, be careful what you're doing, because what you're going to do, you're going to open up the gates of you know what. And this time I was using a little bit of profanity, and they're going to start talking to you women. That was in 2009. So they're going to start coming after y'all. And they've been coming after y'all already. They're going to talk about y'all, the little girls, the police going to come after y'all, and they're going to come after you women. And black men, a lot of black men going to start turning their back. A lot of black men going to start turning their back. I said, and not only that, they're going to really come after you women real hard. They're going to show it. I said, that's what they're going to start doing. They're going to start targeting black women. And they've been doing it, but it's going to be really shown. And they started coming out that black girl. They arrested that black girl. I said, it's going to be really shown. And I said, leave Mr. Kelly alone if you're not going to defend him. I said, because you don't know this case. And then I said, they're going to keep coming after us. And then what did they do? They shut down Minister Louis Farrakhan on social media. They shut him down. Right after we went on their platforms and was talking about praising Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I'm not gonna say who they are. I don't want to be like I'm trying to be speak without being disrespectful and without being like I'm picking on somebody, like I'm saying something to come at somebody because I'm defending Robert Sylvester Kelly. So I take this personally because this man can't read. This man is dyslexic. I'm dyslexic, but I know how to read. And I feel like this man was taken advantage of. That happened to me doing once upon a time in my life, but that's personal. That's something I don't want to share on social media. And I feel like for some of y'all women on your platform and some of you black folks, so-called black folks, to turn your back on this man, I take it personal. I love you. God bless you. But you turn your back on him. The minute I wrote that, I wasn't saved at the time, I said, you might want to be careful. Don't got the dark, because I know the guy on that platform, I ain't gonna say his name, and you women on that platform, you keep talking about this man, you need to stop. They shut Minister Louis Farrakhan on social media. Yes, they did. They shut him down. No, they didn't shut him down, they didn't shut him up. No, he kept talking. Minister Louis Farrakhan, he kept talking. And I have nothing against Minister Louis Farrakhan, but I'm saying, if you look at the speech he gave for Michael Jackson when he was going through his trials and tribulations, and look at what he said for R.Kelly, it's totally different. He didn't say when he spoke for Michael Jackson, oh, no, 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 no. He done some bad things. What did he do bad besides being a man who's promiscuous and have different women? Look at Michael Jackson, what he did. Having that baby dangling him on the window like that, man. That was something to be proud of. I'm just think about Michael Jackson when he was alive. Dangling his little baby over the window, that was a right decision. Plastic surgery. I'm not here to, I'm speaking the truth, y'all. Let's speak the truth. All them nose jobs he had and a dimple on his chin. Let's be truthful now. I love Michael Jackson, but we have to be honest. I'm not saying R.Kelly didn't make mistake and poor decision, but Michael Jackson did too. Dr. Cosby did too. And y'all defended Michael Jackson. Some of you, I'm not saying all of you, some of you might have met him, but some of you act like you were there with Michael Jackson. Like you were there. Some of you act like you were there with Dr. Cosby. No, that's a lie. Like you right there in the Playboy Mansion with him. I'm not here to defend anybody moral behavior. I don't see a man, Robert Sylvester Kelly, a leader of an enterprise. This is not a RICO case. And some of you will not talk about that on your platforms. We could talk about economics. Go ahead and talk about economics. I stay in my lane. You can talk about reparations. I stay in my lane. But tell me, how can we answer this question to the new black media? Why can y'all even stay on code for when it comes to reparations? Brother said, well, Calvin, what are you talking about, brother? Why is it Yvette Cornell, Antonio Moore, who was an attorney, Tariq Nasheed, the Black Authority, the Black Professor of Truth, why is it all separated? Why do Yvette Cornell, Antonio Moore have has what you call ADOS, and Tariq Nasheed them have FDA. Why is it so separated when it comes to reparations? We can't even stay on code for that. I might be dyslexic. I might have a comprehension problem. But one thing about your boy Calvin, I do pay attention. I do read. And I do know how to read. And I see, when you look at a person like R.Kelly who can barely read, he can read, but when you can't hardly read, you don't understand certain things, it's easy to be taken advantage of. Excuse me. It's easy to take, it could be easy taken, a person like that could be easily taken advantage of. He probably said, well, Cal, why did you have to talk about Michael Jackson's plastic surgery? Because it has to be told. Because I've heard the blogger from Chicago talk about that. He said it too. Well, my hometown too, Chicago. I would tell you I was born and raised in Chicago, born on the west side, but born and raised on the south side, Y100s. Yeah. I don't know everything, man. I don't. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. And I apologize to anybody that I've offended. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody. But the truth needs to be told. R. Kelly has written songs for Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, Maxwell. Wrote with Jay-Z. And other artists. Now, when people talk about producing and all this type of stuff, okay. We can say people drop nice beats. DJ Quake, he's a nice producer. Yeah, he can drop nice beats and Dash and, Swiss beats and Timberland. But when it comes to producing, man, that name goes with Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones' name belongs when it comes to that producing thing. He knows music. You don't have to play all 35 instruments like Prince to make you a musical genius. Quincy Jones created one of the most iconic albums ever in history. Best-selling album in history, and that's Thriller, Michael Jackson. It wasn't my best Michael Jackson album. I would say Off the Wall was my best Michael Jackson album. But those three albums, Quincy Jones, that was a masterpiece. Quincy Jones hired those producers and those songwriters and those musicians in there to go in there. Michael Jackson wrote a lot of those. Well, Michael Jackson on Off the Wall, he wrote quite a few, about 4 or 5 tracks on there. Thriller, he wrote 4, about 5. Maybe 4 or 5. Bad, he wrote more. He was writing more songs. When it comes to hip hop producing, Dre is the man, because Dre knows music. Andre Young, Dr. Dre. R. Kelly can't read or write, but he knows music, and he knows how to play multiple instruments, just like Prince. Prince might be. I would look at Prince as more of a musician. So when the guy, no disrespect to the brother that's loved Prince and you Prince fans, but all the way around artist to me, you got to be able to sing, man. You got to have vocals to be able to knock me out. Michael Jackson was able to make me, when I saw Michael, I would never saw him perform live, but the way he performed, it was something different about Michael, the way he performed. Michael was played in my house as a little child, growing up. Cookouts, family reunions, other people's family reunions. I heard a bunch of Michael everywhere I went. The Jacksons was always played, even when he was with his brothers, whatever. And when I got to a certain age, I got older, Kells was played at cookouts, family reunion. I love Prince. Prince is a musical genius to some people, but to me, he was more of a musician. And let's be honest, that's how I feel. I like some of Prince's stuff. But to me, I look at, I was more Rick James is more played in the house than Prince. So I'm just being honest. And if you still have made up your mind about, I done went from, I'm all over the place, man. Because when I talk about music, man, because I'm into music too. I used to be. If I do make music, it's gonna be for God. Now, Prince, to me, he's a great artist as far as playing that guitar, man, and the multiple instruments and stuff like that. But the vocals, man, you know, some of that stuff, it wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. Somebody said, well, this guy said, Prince, when it comes to being an all the way around artist, only person who can be on Prince level is Stevie Wonder and Miles Davis. I agree with Miles Davis because Miles Davis was more of a musician. Miles Davis wasn't no singer. He was a musician. But Prince, yeah, Prince wasn't really no vocalist to me. So he left out James Brown. The brother, you left out James Brown. You left out Donny Hathaway. He said Jimi Hendrix was not more. He was more. He couldn't make a song from A to Z. You know his song. You know, but he said Jimi Hendrix could not. I mean, Prince couldn't mess with Jimi Hendrix on the good time. I agree with that. But when it comes to artists, to me, I like Edgar Winter. He's more of a musician than Prince. He's a white boy, but his voice. That's a bad white dude, man. Check him out. Check out Edgar Winter, because when I got around my pops, man, and other people, they were playing the Eagles, Billy Joe, Hall & Oates. I listen to more Hall & Oates and Billy Joe than I do Prince. And I'm being honest. I like some of Prince stuff, but I'm not going to sit up here and say that I listen to more Prince than I do R.Kelly and Michael Jackson. I'm being straight with y'all, man. I like Prince. You know what I'm saying? But when I was listening to a lot of that music back then, it was more of Michael Jackson, his brothers, and Michael Jackson solo, and R. Kelly than I did Prince. Being honest. Let's say, well, Prince, he can go in the studio and make he can go make the studio, he can make music, and he can, and record, but he don't need nobody to go in the studio. Well, R. Kelly doesn't either. A musical genius don't have to play 35 instruments to make a musical genius. You got to know music. That's Quincy Jones. That's R. Kelly. Stevie Wonder. Ray Charles. All in that category. Bob Marley. Prince was, to me, more of a musician who played multiple instruments. I'm not saying not a genius, but the guy said that could nobody mess with Prince but Stevie Wonder and Miles Davis are all the way around artists. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that, bro. So I think that's your opinion. You say that's my opinion. You're right. That is your opinion. Now, to the new black media, to black people on social media, do you want justice, or do you want us down, or you just want us when we get shot down by the police or harassed by the police, like that black woman got harassed in Chicago by that cop and her dog? I am willing to bet some of you, there are a lot of folks that talk about Larry Elder and Rose McGowan who call out Black Lives Matter, which I have no problem with that. A lot of those folks in Black Lives Matter are some of the same folks that was out there protesting for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the rest of the people that was murdered by the corrupt police department. I bet you some of you are the same folks who were sitting at home watching Surviving R. Kelly. And even the boy that was murdered, Deontay Wright. We got to make up our mind. Do we want justice for just when we get killed by the police, or do we want it all the way around, like Spitting Fire would say? Matter of fact, congratulations to Spitting Fire and Prima Donna and the rest of the people on their platforms that's doing getting things done. And speaking out, not just for R. Kelly, just period. And when they doing it, not trying to throw their own kind under the bus. How come you're not talking about Tasha K allegedly doing something that may be federal, something she's doing some misconduct with the feds? Nobody talk about that. None of the big bloggers has spoken about this on their platform. Y'all can only see Michael Jackson being set up and being innocent. But you can't see Robert Sylvester Kelly being innocent or set up. You can only see him being with Aaliyah, which was already, according to the transcript, according to Demetrius Smith, he didn't even know anything about it. Then, when it comes to this tape that go back in time, he's not being charged for that. She ain't brought that in there. We don't know about what's going on, what's going to happen in Chicago or Minnesota. That Minnesota, come on, man, that Minnesota case, it's weak. This case, I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole New York case is weak. And the judge, Ann Dudley, I gotta be honest with y'all, man. She's biased, and she needs to be looked at, investigated. I'm being honest with you, because some of the stuff I've been hearing, hey, when Robert Sylvester Kelly went to the bathroom, and he would go to the bathroom and take a, let's say number one. Did he hold his penis with one hand or two hands? Objection, Your Honor. Overruled. When Robert Sylvester Kelly, the defendant here, when he had sex with you, did he hit it from the back, sideways? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Objection. Overruled. I'm not saying that's exactly how the questions are, but to be honest with you, this whole man sex life is allowed in that courtroom. And y'all don't have a problem with that? Majority of the witnesses saying 17, I'm 17. Everybody's 17. Every damn body's 17. Everybody's 17, right? Okay. You got one dude talking about he performed oral sex on Kales. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. But the mainstream media is continuously being one-sided. I get it, they got to make their money. I understand. But what I don't understand, why the power of social media, who happens to be a lot of black people on here, so-called black people, are not standing up for this man. But you stood up for Kobe Bryant, who perished in a helicopter along with his beautiful daughter. Interesting. You stood up for Michael Jackson, who's been dead for over a decade when it came after him to Leave Neverland. Interesting. You really didn't stand up for Dr. Cosby till you start seeing things that wasn't, you like, okay, maybe he didn't do it. But he got convicted. Interesting. One lady said she hates her race. That's what she said. I hate being black. I'm like, wow. She said because they're so stupid and so brainwashed. She can't believe they believe this nonsense about R.Kelly. They won't do any research, investigation for themselves. They won't even read. They believe the media. Some of these people are supposed to be smart. They believe everything else. They believe about Michael Jackson. They believe about Bill Cosby. They believe, but when it comes to R. Kelly, and she said, and I'm sitting there wondering about these folks. That's what this woman said. Sometimes I hate being black. She said, sometimes I hate being black. That's what she said. Why can't they see the truth in the R. Kelly case? They can see the truth in everybody else's case. Bill Cosby. They found out about he didn't do these things. Michael Jackson, who been dead for years. Kobe Bryant. Even though some people still believe Bill Cosby might have done something. But Michael Jackson and everybody else. But when it comes to R. Kelly, it's because Michael Jackson is not here no more. Or Tupac is not here no more. Kobe Bryant is not here no more. I said the same thing. So Dr. Cosby's still getting a little bit of heat. Yeah, they've been quiet. Not that they ain't been that damn quiet. They've been, because they latching on R. Kelly now. Yeah. But it's interesting that, no disrespect to people, to the spokesperson Bill Cosby, that Bill Cosby told Jill Scott not to speak up for him because they would destroy him, right? And he told, that's what people are saying. Then he told, who else? Steve Harvey. That's what the blog from Chicago said. My hometown as well. And Dr. Cosby also told Whoopi Goldberg, who's very articulate, who can read. Whoopi Goldberg know how to read. Jill Scott know how to read. These are women. But when it came to Robert Sylvester Kelly, who was not accused, this before Bill Cosby got arrested, I talked about this many months ago. Nobody wanted to listen to me. What I don't understand about some of the R. Kelly supporters, did Dr. Cosby tell R. Kelly the same thing? Not to defend him? R. Kelly is the king of R&B, right? But he defends Bill Cosby. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, scholarship, and research. Let me show you this again. Like, subscribe, and share. This is before R. Kelly was even accused of anything. This is when Dr. Cosby was catching the heat at this time. But the king of R&B defended Dr. Cosby. Let y'all see this again.
Sea Cuisine seasons wild Alaska salmon.
Sorry about the
with
commercials.
exquisite teriyaki sesame flavor.
Meanwhile, R&B singer R.Kelly is questioning the sexual assault accusations made against Bill Cosby. He opened up about Cosby in a new GQ interview, and he was somewhat sympathetic towards the comedian, comparing the accusations to his own legal issues. If you recall, R.Kelly was acquitted of child porn charges in 2008.
In the article, Kelly says there's something, quote, strange about all these women coming forward with accusations decades after the alleged crimes happened. He said, you know why I say that is? Because it happened to me and it wasn't true. Right now, Cosby is out on $1 million bail.
Could this be another reason why they also went after R. Kelly, who defended Bill Cosby? Makes you wonder. Y'all want to see another place where he defended Bill Cosby? Oh, I'm almost done. I'll be done with this commentary.
R.Kelly.
We're going to chat. We ain't done yet. We'll be done in about another 3 minutes. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use of the purpose such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, scholarship, and research. And after this one, I'll be up out of here.
R. Kelly seems to be defending Bill Cosby. In the new issue of GQ, the Ignition singer shares his feelings about the comedy legend and the accusations brought against Cosby by more than 50 women. Quote, when I look on TV and I see the 70, 80, 90-year-old ladies talking about what happened when they were 17, 18, 19, there's something strange about it. Kelly says he's a fan of Cosby, who has denied all the allegations brought against him and seemingly sympathizes with him. Quote, if God showed me that they were telling the truth, I would say that's wrong. I don't care if it was a zillion years ago, but God would have to do that. You know why I say that is because it happened to me, and it wasn't true. Kelly gets candid about more than Cosby in the extensive interview. He also opens up about being sexually abused as a child, his relationship with the late Aaliyah, and his past legal troubles.
Makes you wonder. He defended Bill Cosby, y'all. He didn't have to say anything. But Dr. Cosby hasn't said nothing. He doesn't have to say anything, Dr. Cosby. That is something that I don't understand about the Cosby support. Not all, some of you. The truth is already out there that R.Kelly was set up. In 2008 and 2021, that trial, he was found not guilty. I just wonder, let's put that out there. So that's all I got to say, man. I don't have too much to say no more, man. In this, man, I just hope, man, that we can come to a common ground. And I'm not trying to force God on you, but I'm a man of God. I'm a baby in Christ. And God has saved me. And we better be careful when we talk about Robert Sylvester Kelly. Not just us as black people, even the judicial system better be very careful with this case here, who they dealing with here. I'm done talking about this. If you believe everything the media tells you, then you're nothing but a brainwashed slave. So free yourself, free your mind, and free your soul, and give it to the Lord Jesus Christ. With that being said, love is God, and God is love. So, my name is Calvin Eugene. I love you, but Jesus loves you more. I see y'all in the next one, man. Peace.